We're here today at Fearrington House Restaurant with Executive Chef Colin Bedford. And this is in Pittsboro, North Carolina. It's one of our favorite places to come and dine. And we appreciate Chef Bedford just got back from vacation late last night. And he's come here early this morning to prepare some duck. We're going to break down a duck and do a dish. And so we're going to let him get started.
What we're going to do today is we're going to do seared duck breast with seared foie gras and pickled blackberries. So first, the way you begin to break this duck down by removing the legs. We use all the parts of the duck. So removing the duck legs, what we'll do is we'll put these into a sulfur and then that's for 24 hours.
Okay. And
then we'll actually sous vide them with a little bit of duck fat in. So this is what making the duck confit will be for. And then we'll utilize that on another dish. We'll remove the duck fat, the skin from the duck, and then we'll render that down to make our own duck fat. Then we'll make stock from the bones. So, you know, we'll roast all the bones off. When we have a duck sauce on the menu, we can turn it into sauce, or we can turn it into consommé. This is where you kind of trim it all up to take the tender off, because that has a piece of sinew going through it. Break in anything down that has silver skin. You know, you want to remove the silver skin. And ideally, you want ducks to dry out. So if you can prep this ahead of time, maybe put it into some paper towels, just to help draw some of that moisture out. So when you sear it, and then also what we do is we lightly score the top of the duck.
And that is for
And this is
purpose?
to release, again, some of the moisture in the fat. So you get that real crispy duck, but you don't go all the way through. You just try and score the score the breast. So there we have it. There's the duck broken down. You got the legs, you got the carcass, then you got the fat to render down, and then we'll sear these breasts off. Now we're at a point where we're going to sear the duck off. We always use a cold pan. You can see it's cold. So we season up the duck, and placing the duck into a cold pan, what that does is that helps renders some of that fat off, because there's one thing that everyone likes about duck, and that's crispy skin. So with the scoring of the skin and then put it into a cold pan, that will help render some of that fat off.
So you just put it in with no fat then?
No fat. Crisp it in the pan, then we're going to flash it through the oven. Okay, so as you can see here, there's a lot of fat that's come out of the duck, and then you can see this beautiful crispy skin. So we'll just roll these over, just turn down the heat a little bit, and then for added flavor, depending on the time of the year, you always like to use herbs too. So we'll use some thyme, and what this does is this actually, we're going to turn this off before it goes into the oven, and you can hear it cracking, and that's releasing all those nice flavors.
Now remember, when we were here before, you put a lot of herbs.
Completely different than the breast. As you can see, this pan is absolutely smoking hot. So now we're going to add the foie gras to the pan. It's been seasoned. Carefully adding it back onto the stove. And again, you need a smoking hot pan just so you can get a good sear on the foie gras without it melting and you actually losing the foie gras. And see, this pan's so hot now that I'm going to turn it off. Otherwise the flames would come up and ignite it. And there's enough heat in that pan, the residual heat, to actually cook the foie gras. And then I have some sherry vinegar here. And just like anything, when you build a dish, it's all about balance. That's why the English put tartar sauce for fish and chips. Because, it helps counterbalance the grease. The acid will cut through the grease. Okay. So you just put a little bit in there. You get all that aroma from the sherry vinegar. And then it kind of kills the pan. Okay, so now the duck is cooked and rested, and we're going to begin to build this dish. Now, one of my favorite vegetables are sunchokes. So we have a sunchoke puree here. We're just going to flick it across the plate.
That's why all those dishes look so pretty when you serve them. You're doing that
We
stuff?
do try. Yeah. And then, you know, fall is, and especially with duck, we've got the earthy tones, and then we've got pickled cabbage. Which goes great with duck. And it's on the same lines as the sherry vinegar. Adds great color contrast to the plate.
Is this more on the sweet side or tart, your cabbage?
Again, it's pickled. It has sugar and vinegar into it, and then we finish it with like red currant jelly and some pearl barley. This is some kohlrabi.
Okay.
And then some beautiful chanterelles. I've portioned the duck down. The foie gras is seared. So we're just going to place this on the plate. And then the seared foie gras at the front of the plate. And then the sauce, we've got pickled blackberries. You know, it helps us going into the next season when we can utilize ingredients from the prior. So, you know, these are pickled blackberries with pink peppercorn sauce.
That sounds fabulous. So do you do much preserving or as much as you can?
Yeah, we do as much as we can. It's just to help us out through other seasons. And I'll wait for the sauce, and we'll just add a little bit of sherry fluid gel. And again, this just helps with the balance on the plate.
And how do you make something like that? I noticed we had some similar textures on our plate last night.
It's using a chemical called Ultratex. You know, it just helps thicken the liquid without losing the integrity of the of the flavor. So then we're just going to sauce this up.
So that's really something simple that someone could do at home.
You can buy all these. You can buy the products online now.
Okay.
So you know they're all readily available. And then these are our microgreens. This is red Russian kale, and these are grown locally, just down the road for us. And we change our microgreens as we change the seasons. And there we have it.
That is gorgeous.
Seared duck with foie gras and pickled blackberry sauce.
Thank you so much.
I'm gone to Carolina. Can't you see the sunshine? Can't you just feel the moonshine? Ain't it just like a friend of mine to hit me from